A Libéria é um país assombrado pelo passado. Primeiro a escravatura, depois a guerra civil, que durou quase 20 anos e só terminou em 2003. Terminou a guerra, mas não as suas consequências, que continuam visíveis na pobreza e na memória dos que passaram por momentos dramáticos. Mais de 250 mil pessoas mortas, mais de 800 mil pessoas deslocadas. Uma violência que continua presente nos dias de hoje. Libéria, Rimas e Ritos é o documentário da Fundação Ajuda à Igreja que Sofre, que nos leva hoje até este país africano que ainda vive preso no passado.
For all my sins, God denies me to heaven. On Judgment Day, Mama, won't you cry? 'Cause if there will be justice in heaven, dry your tears, Mama, 'cause I'll be fine. I was born in a shack made of mud and wood. 20 other people hanging from one spoon. There was no water and the money was rare. At times were hard even to say a prayer. For all my sins, God denies me to heaven. On Judgment Day, Mama, won't you cry? 'Cause if there will be justice in heaven, dry your tears, Mama, 'cause I'll be fine.
O Liberia, 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 country of the pioneer's choice, pioneers who came via the dreaded seas, with faces so grave and hearts so desperate, they fled America.
After the abolition of slavery in the United States, there was a movement, the free slaves moving back to Liberia. It was a social problem for them because they were free men. What are they going to do with them? And by 1820 to 1821, the first batch of slaves started to move to Liberia, so that they could be back in what they call is known as the fatherland. Yes. With time, there was tension between the settlers and the indigenous people. Indigenous people living here inhabited the land. They had their own form of local government. There were chiefs and elders along the coast. The settlers, free slaves, brought with them the life and culture of their masters on the plantations in America. That was the exact copy. Even the homes they built were the replica of the homes in the plantations. They felt themselves higher than the local people. There was a form of apartheid class system. The settlers organized themselves into a government, and by 1847 they declared independence. They became a sovereign state. Former slaves now became masters.
O Liberia, 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 country of the pioneer's choice, pioneers who came via the dreaded seas, with faces so grave and hearts so desperate, they fled America, land of their nativity, in quest of an asylum to rest from the great human degradation.
had a great country. We had a country where even somebody cannot hold a knife against you. But our country has transformed and polluted because of the culture of guns that were produced in this country.
Liberia was another hell because the country was at war 14 years from 1989 up to 2003.
It was on a Friday. We went to school with a few of my friends playing football. The guys drove a pickup, so they hurt us. They said we should not move. So right away they grabbed us with force and threw us into the pickup and just pulled us with speed. They took us to their camp. They kidnapped us because they wanted us to become part of them. Our graduation had to be like, we have to crawl on the ground, and we have a gunman that will be shooting above your head. If you leave your head, he will shoot you. Actually, when we got the gun, we were very, very excited. We were having powers in our hands. It was just a normal thing to us. Going into the villages and take food from the people. We go and demand them to give us food, even at the point of even beating on people. So we got ready for our first attack. When we have to attack the town, very scary because you could hear gun sounds, rockets flying above, and you are just forced to manage your way somehow. Yeah, so it was hard. In the process, one of my friends, he got hit in the chest. Yeah. All along, I cried for a very long time.
So your heels all wrong. The rebels are coming. They are invading and shooting and looting, amputating and killing and gang raping, recruiting and capturing and torturing, vandalizing and bombing and destroying. They are slaughtering and flogging and singing. Oh, there, no, right here. Everyone get going. Don't hesitate. Keep flying and keep fleeing. They think they are immortals. When the decree of life and death of the masses with impunity rests in their hands. They think they are gods when they master the destinies of the masses and when their very words become laws.
Liberia was a developing country after the Second World War. To the early 70s, there was demand by the Western countries to rebuild and the need for rubber and iron ore. So Liberia was very attractive for that. But with the advent of the Cold War, Liberia also was used as a station to counteract the influence of the Soviets and the communists. But with the end of communism, there was no need for Liberia to be utilized, and there was this process of Liberia fading away, from being a major partner for the West.
But today we will be looking at what we call the non-African drama. And drama always presents to us life stories or lessons. What is drama? Drama is always emotion and action. Like the last time we talked about the types of poetry. So in real life, without the action, without the acting, the drama becomes what? Useless.
By the late 1970s, indigenous Liberians, they started a movement to advocate for more inclusion in government, for more participation in the benefits of the economy. There were things that were not right under the settlers, okay, but the country was growing and developing. People turned out into the streets fighting for their human rights. And vulnerability of the government of Toba was exposed, and by 1980, there was a military coup d'etat. The rule of the settlers ended. The governor, he was murdered, and top officials were arrested and tried summarily and executed.
The civil wars are crueler than any other war because you don't have rules. So people just did anything to anybody. We feel more hurt when people who are close to us, people that we love, and will betray us. People feel more hurt.
It starts in the afternoon. The guys came in their pickup, they were shooting all in the air. After they collected all, they took us to a certain place, put us in the house, separate us. The men were one side, the women were one side, and the children were one side. For I and my mother, we were selected to cook for them in the kitchen. They first started holding the men. But after a few minutes, they were back. So when they came, we were all under fear. They were holding the people bit by bit, until they got through carrying everybody. We're the last group of people that left on the scene because we were in the kitchen cooking for them. My mother, she had about 6-month-old baby with her, a boy child. The baby keep crying. We try pegging the baby, but there was no way that the baby could calm down. The baby keep crying. We didn't really know what was going on, but it's like the child saw what was going to happen. So the child keep crying. We left. When we reached at the bridge, they said that everyone should calm down. They took the baby from her hand along with the lapper all around the child, and they threw the baby into the water. They started firing them, chunking them in the water. So after they fired them, they churned in the water. They fired them, they churned in the water. Some of the women that were there, the soldiers raped some of them, including my mother. They were all raped, and later on, they fired them, they threw them in the water. There was blood all over the bridge. It took almost 40 to 45 minutes. 40 to 45 minutes. They have damaged my future.
People kill people in this country. People brutalize people. People rape people for no reason. And that is something that has become a national trauma. You can see visibly in the faces how they have paid a thankless price for just being Liberians.
All the memories of my home I find very hard to dismiss. I may get all that I want, and I may get all that I need. Yet all the memories of my home never stop to follow me. I sometimes get busy, and I sometimes get merry. Yet all the memories of my home still get stuck up in my mind. I sometimes run all around, and I sometimes practice escapism. Yet all the memories of my home never stop to follow me. Keep something for future generation to read, to kind of get to know what actually did happen in one way or another. So I started to write.
I saw human suffering. I saw a country that was vibrant, destroyed. I saw people, hopes destroyed. People who had hopes, of a better life. All of a sudden, all their dreams and hopes were shattered. I lost some members of my family. One of my brothers, he was murdered. I don't know where he is today. There's no grave. There's still the need for us to address the root causes of the conflict in Liberia. History repeats itself in ways that sometimes we cannot understand. But we are the makers of history. Yeah. We can change the course of history in the right or the wrong way.
With faces so grave and hearts so desperate.
Learn